Summertime, poolside, chlorine, oh, hey, I didn't expect you to be here. Oh, right, you were expecting a Reddie review for April. Well, I got a bit sick and the semester ended a few weeks ago, and campus has been sorta... Yeah, but since you came all this way, I figure I should probably give you some kind of review. How about this? How about instead of reviewing music you've probably heard of already, why don't I take a look at some bands from right here in Arkansas that you probably haven't heard of? Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Well, since I've never done a cold open like this before, I guess this is where we roll the intro. So let's do it. Hello and welcome to Reddie Reviews. I'm your host JT Dickens, and on this special episode, we'll be looking at some local music from all around the state of Arkansas. Be sure to follow all the bands I mention on Instagram to keep up with everything that they're up to. For our first band, we'll be taking a look at pop-punk band Prophunter out of Hot Springs, Arkansas. With indie riffs and a bit of a southern flair, the guys in Prophunter bring an Arkansas sound to the indie world on their first EP, Steady. The sound on this one feels like a nice blend of classic pop-punk with a few bits of Midwest emo sprinkled in here and there. Opener More starts out with an instrumental that has a nice Midwest emo vibe to it, with lead singer Easton Thomas coming in to talk about wanting more out of a past relationship. In fact, most of the lyrics revolve around the subject of unrequited love and looking back on past relationships, like on the track Pressure, which talks about, as the title suggests, feeling the pressure of a relationship and the aftermath of a breakup. Girl in Black, I'll Be Waiting has pop-punk elements and lyrics talking about a girl putting Thomas through the worst, as he just rolls with the punches of it all. There's also a cover of the Goo Goo Dolls' Slide at the end of the EP that's played pretty close to the original, but I think it fits Thomas's voice really well. If you're already a fan of the pop-punk genre and want to see how a band from Arkansas puts their spin on it, this is one to listen to. Currently, the band has a bunch of shows lined up at JJ's Grill and their many locations in Arkansas, along with plenty of shows happening in other parts of Arkansas this summer. They've also got a brand new EP called Lonely Season releasing in a couple weeks, and they've been playing some new stuff at their more recent shows from what I'm told will be on another EP coming out later this summer. So if you want a preview of what's to come for the band, you should definitely go see them and follow them at Prophunter Band on Instagram. For our next band, we'll be taking a look at alt-rock band Zilla out of Little Rock, Arkansas. The boys in Zilla bring a lot of energy on their most recent album, Sleepwalk. The energy is constant, dropping you right into the action on opener Sleeper Shape and continuing that momentum as each track leads right into the next. However, there are moments when things feel like they're slowing down, but that energy remains, like on the lumbering Brain Eater and the acoustic-driven Black Grass, which is one of the tracks that has a lot to say lyrically. Speaking of that, while some of the lyrics on here are sparse and feel like they're meant to be chanted rather than dissected, it doesn't mean that they aren't interesting. The album seems to have a connected story that details, from what I can piece together at least, a person called the Sleeper being plagued by insomnia and seeing his darkest thoughts in the form of a sleeper shape. Then, a monster called Brain Eater takes the identity of the Sleeper and becomes the Strangler, who feeds upon dreams and brains and turns people into a sleep-deprived zombie hive mind. Of course, this is just all my interpretation, as the guys have said that the album is about whatever the listener takes from it. So if you're looking for an album with intricate lyrics and tracks you could dance or mosh to, this is one to listen to. Currently, the boys in Zilla are playing a few shows throughout the summer and are also working on their third album. If you want to catch them this summer and see when their next album will come out, you can follow them at ZillaLR on Instagram. Our next band we're taking a look at is pop rock band Frailstate out of Little Rock, Arkansas. On their newest EP, Array of Emotions, the guys in Frailstate bring more of the pop rock vibes that they've come to be known for. The main difference you'll find with this one, compared to their past releases, is that it takes a lot of the synth work from their second EP and combines it with some of the lighter sound of their first EP. The instrumentals have a great blend of vibes that keep the listener on their toes when listening throughout the whole EP. Opener Wonderland starts off with an instrumental that would have fit nicely on their first EP and has a nice sounding pop drop towards the end. And the show has the sound of something that would play in a nightclub, which matches the lyric's subject matter. As the title of the EP would suggest, the lyrics don't have one subject matter that they revolve around, but the subject matters of each song are very interesting. The show talks about a girl at a club who dances and kisses a man to make her ex jealous, and the track Maybe We Could Get Used to This has lead singer Noah Nichols talking to someone about how their relationship is moving too fast and is causing them both to be toxic towards each other and themselves. My favorite track might have to be the closer, Lou, which has Nichols talking to an old friend that he hasn't seen in a while, asking if they'd like to come hang out sometime. I think a lot of people my age have been in the same situation before. If you're looking for some more summer jams or want to see what one of the bigger local bands in Arkansas is doing right now, this is one to listen to. Currently, the guys are getting back to playing more shows after working on this EP, so there's never been a better time to get into them. Go see them this summer and follow them at Frailstate Band on Instagram. For this last band, we'll be directing our sights outside of Arkansas into our neighboring state of Oklahoma for the neo-grunge band Sabertooth out of Muskogee, Oklahoma, and their most recent EP, Nails. This one brings a lot of driving and lumbering riffs that the band is known for, like on the tracks Release the Hounds and Forsaken. The lyrics on each of these tracks, while not sticking to one particular theme throughout, are incredible and definitely worth dissecting. Opener Sledge switches perspectives between a child who murders someone and is sent away and the murder weapon in question, while Social Piranha has lead singer Tyler Tiger Mitchum comparing himself to multiple animals and calling out those that try to drag him down. I could go on and on about each of the tracks, as there's so much to pull from all of them, so as not to spoil more, you should definitely check this one out if you're a fan of cool instrumentals that you can rage to and even cooler lyrics that bring an awesome atmosphere. Currently, the guys have a bunch of shows planned for May and June, with hopes of playing more throughout the rest of the summer. They've also been planning to work on new material in the new year, so to follow everything Sabertooth is up to and to see when they'll be playing a show next, you can follow them at SabertoothOK on Instagram. And that's all for this episode. If you want to stay up to date on all things HTV, consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell for more content here at Henderson Television. Also, follow us on Instagram at henderson.television for updates on future releases. Finally, follow all of the bands that I've talked about in this video and the past 3 videos on Instagram, as that's one of the easiest ways to support them. And hey, if any of these bands have piqued your interest over the semester, go listen to their music on streaming services, or better yet, go see them at a local show this summer. There's a whole community of bands, artists, and even some new friends of all types that await you. We'll be back in August next semester to talk about even more recent, personal favorites, and local music. Until we see each other again, I've been JT Dickens, and I hope to see you at a show this summer. Take care and listen loud. Welcome back to the honorable mentions part of the video where the credits roll beside me and I list off some albums that I did not get to review. For this Reddie review, I'm going to mention some albums from both April and May that I did not get to review, so here we go. HMLTD, The Worm, Water Parks, Intellectual Property, Covet, Catharsis, Ed Sheeran, Subtract, Sleep Token, Take Me Back to Eden, Katranada and Amine, Katramine. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to Henderson Television. Oh, and also, shout out Brother Tongue for this really cool merch.